Hey everybody, welcome to this Shortwave radio channel, and I take a look at what I consider to be my top 10 receivers for the summer of 2022. One that you cannot say that it's not in the top 10, because it's one of the great receivers out there, showing how Tecsun manufacturing is pretty amazing. It is pretty much the world leader in manufacturing of shortwave radios right now. So the Tecsun PL-990X, or also 990. I get this question all the time. The difference between the 990 and the 990X pretty much lies on the fact that the manual of the 990 might be in Chinese because it's meant for the local market. X means export. So it's the rest of the world gets the X technically. But depending on where you're going to buy it, you might not get the X. You might get the 990. If you get the 990, you're still getting a great radio. Don't worry about it. You might just need to go online to find the English manual. If you do have the manual which comes with it, which is the Chinese manual in many cases, but not always. I've seen some people with the non-X version get the English manual, so it depends where you get it. This is a higher end receiver, and it's difficult to explain what a higher end receiver is because I see a lot of comments of people saying, well, I got a PL-330, I don't see why I should get this. It's a question of you have to use it, and I have to show you a few things, but definitely it's not in the you're going to get more signals on this than the PL-330, for example, which is less expensive. And that's not where these radios are actually in my top 10. They're all going to get the same signal in general. And it doesn't mean that this, because it's more expensive, gets more than the others. It really lies on the fact that it has more features, better audio, things like that. It's really a different league of radios. So this is a long wave, medium wave, FM, shortwave, general coverage, full coverage receiver. It is high performance. It is really nice. It works great. Its qualities lie on the fact that it has a pretty good precision of the frequency tuning with up to 10 hertz resolution, and the audio is amazing. This has much better audio than the average receiver in general. But like I said, you're not going to get on this a signal that you're not getting on the PL-330. And so I want to be straightforward here. They're higher end, and because you might want to have some of the features that this has, but not necessarily, you're not paying to get more signals, you're paying to get more features, and that's very important to make a difference today. So it depends what you want to pay, and there are a few things that are great for it. First of all, the quality shows on the radio itself, the metal knobs, the fact that also it doesn't mute when you tune around. This is a triple coverage, the triple conversion receiver. And one of the layers is kind of the DSP chip to get the features, but it's in general a PLL-driven receiver, so it doesn't mute when you tune. So if you're looking for something that doesn't chuff or mute, this does not, and it is a great little radio. This radio has, of course, every feature that you would want in a shortwave radio with different bandwidths, a lot of bandwidths. The fact that it has single sideband, fun to tune in single sideband. Calibration, which is very nice. This is a feature that Tecsun added to receivers lately, and that is just amazing because if the receiver's a little off, you can actually calibrate it using a signal like WWV time signal, for example, to make sure that the frequency is just precise when you tune around. So this is great. It's got a MP3 player if you want to play any MP3s of audio or songs. Unfortunately, one of the features, and I know that a lot of people are kind of, a bummer with this because you see the memory card goes here on the bottom. One of the bummers of this radio is a lot of people would have loved this radio to actually record. It does not. I have to say it would have added a huge advantage to this receiver if you could record what you're listening to, but you cannot. This is really just a play. It has Bluetooth capability, so you can pair it with your phone for playing audio. The reason they do that is because the audio is so good in here that it kind of goes as a speaker, if you want, a Bluetooth speaker. So if you're about to buy a Bluetooth speaker and a shortwave radio, you kind of get both in here because the audio quality is good enough to actually very, very good to listen to music and all sorts of audio clips. The receiver is great in pretty much all of the bands, shortwave, medium wave. It has a longer ferrite inside than average receiver. I've actually had some really good performance on long wave, particularly, medium wave, but where you can tune around the Navtex transmissions around 518 kilohertz, just using the internal ferrite. So this radio really performs well. It's pretty amazing. The bandwidths help in, of course, getting all the signals because you can narrow it down. Several bandwidths for AM, several bandwidths for single sideband, and it is, like I said, a full coverage receiver. One thing missing on this radio that Tecsun does not have on radios is RDS. If you're looking for a receiver that has on FM the radio data system display information, Tecsun receivers pretty much don't have that. They kind of use the same display pretty much on all the radios, so they kind of look alike in the display, in the LCD display. But, overall, this is a great radio. It has a external antenna jack, of course. It has also a line out where you can actually feed audio to some device if you want. Of course, earphones. You can charge the battery because, once again, it's not a standard battery. It comes with a 18650 lithium-ion battery. This is what powers this radio. Once again, I'm not a big fan of those. Too many people are like in the impression that you get this everywhere. E-cigarette stores and blah. Yeah, look, if you go camping or if you go somewhere, try to find one of these and come back. You're gonna see that it's much tougher to find one when you're not in a big urban area. And that's why I always kind of find that AA's or batteries, standard batteries are much better because you find them everywhere. But that said, you can do like me, get a few extras. You can also get a battery pack, one of those, charging battery packs for cell phones, and bring that with you so you can charge it. It gives you extra battery at the same time. Audio quality is amazing, and this is definitely a higher end receiver than most radios. But once again, I will just say it again. Apart from the extra features, the good audio, and the more higher quality receiver, MP3 player, Bluetooth, you can make calls with this. There's you can actually use this as your microphone for making calls with your phone, if that ever comes to. I don't see why I would do it, but if it ever comes to that, maybe if you're using it Bluetooth with your phone. But overall performance is great, audio is great, and single sideband reception is amazing. Truly higher end, great radio, great receiver. It's in my top 10 for the summer of 2022, definitely. Around $240-ish on an Onco. This is where most Tecsun receivers are easy to buy and pretty good service. This is one of my favorites, definitely in my top 10. No RDS, don't forget about that. Uses 18650 batteries. Remember that also. For the rest, you've got a solid performer in the Tecsun PL-990X portable receiver. Enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up, and this is part of my top 10 receivers, the Tecsun PL-990X or 990, pretty much the same receivers. By the way, no airband.